Jai Hind students. Today, again I am going to continue with the topic, as you can see, method of communication, and it's a session 1 of part A. Previous day we covered some of the things, and today we have certain objectives. We'll see what the functions of verbal communication, non-verbal communication, what it is, and functions of non-verbal communication, non-verbal practices during an interview, and visual communication, and points to consider while preparing a presentation. These are the objectives, and these are the overall objectives for the session 1 of your book, chapter Methods of Communication. Let's see one by one. Now, functions of verbal communication. Now, if you'll see the verbal communication function, we have, of course, certain functions of verbal communication. If we are good in verbal communication, then definitely we can have a good relationship. We can create a good relationship with other. That is the first point. Help us to maintain a relationship. So your relationship with your colleagues, with your peers, and within your society, in your family, that will be definitely good if you have a good verbal communication. That's the first and foremost point. Second point is, it also helps us to define a reality. Now, if you are good in verbal communications, what exactly you want to express, you will be able to express. So real picture will come out if I'm good enough in my verbal communication. Otherwise, maybe you'll be not able to express and you will not come with the reality. That is the second advantage of the verbal communication. Third is, it also helps us to think. Now, suppose some analysis I have done about something and I'm not able to express it. My thinking capacity will increase as a moment I'll start sharing the same with others. That's why the verbal communication also helps us to increase our thinking capacity. Can be used to reward and punish. Now, if you are good enough in verbal communication, then you can express for the positive and negative both. Here reward means some again achievements of someone you can express nicely, and again something is not good with someone and that is a negative one, so you can use that to punish someone also. So your reward and punishment, or simply you can say positive and negative aspect of anything, can be expressed easily if you are good in verbal communications. Then come to the non-verbal communications. Now in verbal communication you have seen there are two things, it's oral and written. These two comes under the verbal communication, and it's one of the again communication method that we use to follow to express our ideas or views with others, and we must be good in both oral and written communication as in verbal communication. Now come to the non-verbal communication. As a name suggests, non-verbal, it means neither you are going to use the oral nor you are going to use the written. Then it comes to the non-verbal communications. It means these two you have to avoid. That is what the non-verbal communication is. Your body language that we generally use to express something, your gestures, that is the facial expression of yours, movement of the body parts, this all comes under the non-verbal communications. And nowadays non-verbal communication considered to be one of the best means of communication, and it's also help us to emphasize the verbal communication that you do with others. So in class, suppose a class is going on and a teacher is asking you something. No need to reply in a verbal way. Even you are nodding your head or you are shaking your head, that will give a clear-cut message to the again speaker, what do you mean by, or you are getting a nod. And that is what the non-verbal communication is. So once we try to communicate with our body part movements, raising your finger, teacher is asking about something, some question has been asked in the class and a child raised his hand, it means child having the answer. Automatically teacher will come to know. And if teacher asking, have you got this idea and is it clear, is it understood, and you are saying yes sir, that itself is without saying any word, your that nodding of your head or shaking of your head, no sir. that itself is indication that this is what the non-verbal communication are. The non-verbal communication are again the means of communication in which we generally use the body language, we use the facial expression to express our gratitude and feeling, and we use the gestures of our body, and this all comes under the non-verbal communication and considered one of the again great tool in the verbal communication if you can use the non-verbal communication together. Now, some of the things that you must again to make the effective communications or non-verbal communications, use a variety of appropriate facial expression while communicating with the people. Once you are communicating, use the different kind of facial expressions that will give some idea to the opponent one or to the receiver one what exactly you want to say. Try to make eye contact while speaking in the classroom. That is one of the best again non-verbal communication you are doing. Attention of yours is there in the class or not. Your teacher will come to know only once there is an eye contact of yours with the teachers. So always have a consistent again eye contact with the teachers. That itself is one of the non-verbal communication you are trying to do with the teachers. I'm attentive, I'm listening, and I'm careful enough. And vary your vocal pattern throughout the presentation and avoid a moderately monotonous vocal range. Change the pitch, change the way to speak once you are using non-verbal communications. Avoid defensive gestures, avoid it, like folding the hands or putting your hands back. That also not look good, or that is not the good again indication or good again non-verbal communications. So once you want to pay regard, your hand should be in the front, or you are simply standing and your hands are side by side of your body. That is one of the best again non-verbal. But if I'm standing like this and if I'm talking with my teachers, it's a defensive again postures of yours, gestures of yours. Kindly avoid it, because the opponent will come to know you are very defensive, and these are supposed to be avoided. Refrain from the forgetting your hands or clothes. That you have to avoid. Sometimes we are just unnecessary again touching the different part of the body or touching the clothes, or our attention is toward that not, your hand should be not in the pocket. That itself is not again good gestures of yours once you are communicating. And during a presentation, always stand straight and move around with the ease and assurance. Once you are communicating and presenting going on, stand somewhere and keep on again moving. That will make your communication better. These are some of the again tips to make your communication better. Now come to the functions of non-verbal communication. Now functions of non-verbal communications means where we are not using either the oral or the written ways of communication. We use the non-verbal communication to emphasize on verbal communication. For example, head nod. As I mentioned, if your mom is asking at home, would you like to have a breakfast? Instead of saying yes, you can say yes orally. But if you are saying this way, your mom will get immediately yes. Or with yes, if you are again nodding your head or shaking your head, that itself is an indication, or that will make your statement more again clear for the audience. That is one of the way. Use non-verbal communications to replace the verbal communication using the behavior that easily recognized by the others, such as a wave. Some of the non-verbal communication can easily again understood by the audience, like your just again body language. Someone asks something and just again with curiosity you are saying toward the child, and you just said, you put your finger on your lips. That itself is a great example for child. You just wait or pause for a while. No need to shout in the class, because that will disturb others. But toward that child, if you are seeing and for a while you just again raise your finger on your lips, the child got the message. Keep silent. Don't disturb the class. That is what it is. We use the non-verbal cues to complement the reinforced verbal communications. For example, if a friend tells you that she got selected in one of the premier institute for the further studies, sometimes some of the good again message, you came to know, or you are listening from others, and for that you want to say, wow, what a excellent achievement, or what a success. This kind of expressions, your body language or gestures would also speak that people will be more happy. Use the nonverbal communication to communicate emotions. And sometimes you must have seen, once a person is sad and when a person is happy, his body language speaks that. If you are putting your shoulders down and some sad faces you are making, people will immediately come to know that you are not in a good condition, or it's a tough situation for me, or it's a sad moment for me. That is what non-verbal communication helps us. We use the nonverbal communication to give the feedback to the other person during the seminar, during the conference. If someone is asking you and you're just shaking your head, or someone is asking how was the presentation and you just said, you raise your thumbs, that itself is a great indication or great way to have a non-verbal communication. Excellent. So these are the functions of non-verbal communications, and it's considered to be one of the best ways of communications nowadays minded. With verbal, if I have a non-verbal communication skills, then of course I'm a good enough in communication. Now, some of the tips that you have to remember during the interview, if you are facing an interview. First of all, you must be attentive in your interview. Your body, you should not lean too much down. Try to lean towards little toward the interviewer. Your eye contact should be completely to the interviewer so that he will feel happy you are attentive enough. Then once he is asking something and you have an answer, reply non-verbally, just to shake your head or just simply deny, no sir, this is not possible, and likewise. So some of the points I'm discussing here. First, maintain eye contact. As I mentioned in your class also, whenever you are communicating with anyone, it's one of the best attitude that you can show. Always have eye contact with the speaker. A speaker will come to know you are a confident person and you are a man of words. Never put your head down. Simply seeing toward the earth and communicating will not give you anything. Second is smile and nod. Once required to smile, smile it. Don't be a miser, because nothing you are losing to smile. If it is a matter to interviewer asking some silly question, you are bound to smile. Smile and simultaneously nod when the interviewer is asking something. Be polite and keep an even tone in your speech. That's very required. Never be aggressive during the interview, because the questions can be not suitable, questions can be not appropriate, questions cannot be digestible to you, but always have a patience and be polite, humble to reply. Do not slouch while sitting. Never try to bend or relax during the interview. Not look to be or not considered to be good. Relax and lean a little toward the interviewer so that appropriate attention will be there. Keep your feet on the floor and your back against the lower back of the. So your feet should be always on the floor. Don't fold it. Don't keep on other leg. That not considered to be a good one. Be attentive to whatever the interviewer is saying and asking. Definitely we have to. And do not interrupt your interviewer. Once interviewer asking something, never try to interfere or never try to interrupt. Meanwhile, let him to finish, let her to finish, and then you can only ask if there is any query. Rest and arms on the chair or on your lap to look comfortable. That's you right? Always put your hands either on the chairs having the hands, or if it is not, then put your hands on the laps of yours. These are some of the tips during the interview. And now come to the visual communications. So there are three different types of communications: the verbal, non-verbal and visual. We have seen the two, the verbal one and non-verbal one. Now come to the visual communications. Now visual communication, early people used to have, once there was no verbal communication, no non-verbal communications, then they used to draw or depict or just sketch on piece of paper or on floor to present some ideas, to communicate with others. So that's a very old again methods of communications. Still we are using in some of the cases, like you must have seen in the airport, once you went to receive a particular person, then you have a play card, and that play card you are only displaying. That itself is a great again communication for the commutators or for the person to whom you went to receive to know you are for him. So if you have a play card again with the name of a person to whom you want to receive in airport, then that itself is a great again visual communications. We used to present the things in the form of a graphs or pictures or diagram, and these are called the visual communications. So your visual communications is the form that can be seen through the eye. Mind it, once you are trying to communicate, to see something, some artist, suppose, has drawn a nice pictures. That picture itself is communicating, and you are bound to express your gratitude or express your feeling to see that image or sketches or the drawing. That picture or drawing, the picture that the artist drawn itself is a great again reflection and communicating with others. That is what the visual communications are. And it's very old again method, as I mentioned. Ancient time, people hadn't any oral skills or the written skills or the non-verbal communication. They used to draw the line to present something. They used to draw some picture on the earth, and that itself was a communication method that time. Now, points to considered while preparing a presentation. Now, sometimes we used to present or communicate with our presentation, for example, COVID-19. Now, COVID-19, if I don't want to communicate anything, but with a diagram of the COVID, that a virus, and what kind of impact this virus can have on human being, and what are the again maybe major deficiency, and what are the remedies. Through the diagram you can present, and I hope nothing is required, except that nothing is required. That is what the visual communications are. During the visual communications, you have to keep certain points in your mind. Make sure that your content is suitable for the visual presentation. That, of course, you have to look. Sometimes the pictures may again communicate something not good. So before again publishing, before presenting, you must have to check the symbol are appropriate. The things that I'm going to present are appropriate according to the needs of the audience, according to the context, then only go. So blindly don't again draw anything and present, because that image may have a different meaning. People can extract it out. All fonts should be legible and appropriate for the communication style. Definitely, your font that you are using to present an image should be readable enough and should be of a standard again size. That you have to keep in mind. Present contents in a way